Hello, my name is Brennan Sim with EB-5 United, and welcome to this PowerPoint presentation walkthrough of our Yellowstone Club Phase 2 project. Let's go ahead and dive on in. So here's a great photo of the exclusive Yellowstone Club, which is a private ski resort in Big Sky, Montana. You can see Lone Peak in the background. That's the second largest public ski resort in the country, and this is the largest ski area in the Americas. As we get into this project, this is a rural project, so it qualifies for priority processing and the 20% set asides of rural visas. And we are a first position loan in this, and we'll go through this project in detail. And we also won the award for the top project this past year in August of 2024 when we presented it at the EB-5 Investors Magazine conference, and it was judged by a panel of agents and attorneys from the industry, and we shared the award for the top project. Here you can see a photo of the project. This was from last summer, so it's a little bit dated. These are the three buildings here that you'll see outlined in blue that are the three buildings we're building in this project. The yellow there is a past EB-5 project that was completed in 2019 and repaid the EB-5 loan back in February of 2020. And here's a photo in the summertime of the Yellowstone Club. Here we could see some construction photos. This is building 5 in the upper left, which is fully enclosed. Building 7 is also fully enclosed, and building 6 is topped off. Building 5 is on schedule to deliver at the end of the summer in 2026. Building 7 is on track to deliver at the end of the year in 2026, and Building 6 is on track to deliver at the end of the summer in 2027. So about this project, here you can see we're structured in the first position in this project. We've sold 19 of the 35 units thus far. We'll go through that in more detail, and we have great repayment history with this developer in Big Sky. Here's the project details. It will include 35 residences that are selling for about $38 million a piece on average. There's also going to be ice skating lagoon, new family pool, a new gondola, food trucks, locker rooms, and Crossroads bar. That'll be a great spot. And you can see the delivery dates, as I mentioned, Building 5 Q3 2026, Building 7 Q1 27, Building 6 Q3 27. Here is Bozeman. This is where it's located in Montana. It's about a 50-minute drive to Big Sky. So you're only about an hour away from the Yellowstone Club. A lot of members of the Yellowstone Club will take a private jet in and then take a helicopter down, which is only about a 10 to 15-minute drive from the Bozeman airport. But you can fly here from pretty much every major city in America other than Miami direct on a commercial airliner. Here are past projects in Big Sky with the developer. So the first project at the Yellowstone Club, again, that was completed in 2019. It repaid the EB-5 loan in February of 2020. The Montage Hotel, we at EB-5 United raised $55.3 million for that project. The hotel was opened in January of 2022. And Cross Harbor, the developer here, which is the same developer for all these projects, they repaid that loan in September of 2023. And then we raised money for the One&Only last year, and that was a very, very successful raise. In that project, we have nearly 200 I-526E approvals already, averaging around 10 to 11 months and averaging about 7 months for investors who filed after the project received 956F approval. And now we're raising a full $600 million for the Yellowstone Club Phase 2 project, which has been going very well. And again, we've already locked in the senior position on this project. One thing about Big Sky, Montana, our developer, Cross Harbor Capital Partners, owns 91% of the developable land in Big Sky, which is just massive. So they control everything, and there's not any competitors here who are trying to bring in competing projects that are going to cause issues for our developer. And so since they purchased all of this land, mostly back in 2009, they bought the Yellowstone Club for about $400 million and all the rest of the land for around $120 million. They have since then taken that $520 million investment and developed and sold more than $16 billion of real estate in that time, in the last 15 years. So this has been an extremely successful venture for Cross Harbor Capital Partners and for EB-5 United. helping support these projects with EB-5. You can see here, this was the first Yellowstone Club project. The grassy knoll over there on the right is now where all the construction is on the second phase. Here is the Montage Hotel. That's an actual photo. It's a beautiful spot. And this is the One&Only Hotel, which is about to open. And here is talking about how fast the approvals have been for these projects with the priority processing. One thing that's great about this area as well, just one final note, is that even though we are funding the big projects with EB-5, these investments are helping everything in the town. The developer owns almost all of the town center, and they've built a big community center recently, medical facilities, updated fire departments, newer, lower income housing, everything. It's just grown like crazy as we have been raising funds there over the last 6 years. It's been incredible to see, going up there a couple times every year. We always are providing new construction updates. Our most recent one was with Duncan Fuller back in March. I suggest you go check that out. And this is talking about the old Yellowstone Club Phase 1 project. The homes that were sold in there, they sold 48 homes in that project that averaged $2,650 a foot when they sold those. Those homes, for buyers who are putting those back on the market, those homes are reselling right now for $5,500 to $6,500 per square foot. That is nearly the highest price per square foot that you can find in the United States outside of Billionaires Row on 58th in Manhattan. So it is just incredible, the growth that there has been here at the Yellowstone Club. The developer, Cross Harbor, since they took over the club in 2009, has sold more than $10 billion of real estate at the club. More than $5 billion of that has been just since COVID in 2020. This club will only ever have 914 memberships. There are already more than 867 members. So we are building 35 of the final homes that will ever be here and the final membership spots that there will ever be at the club. So they are becoming rarer and rarer, and it is going to be a fight to get into one of these spots and be able to claim a membership for the final people who are going to buy some of these spots in this project. Once you purchase a home at the Yellowstone Club, you then have to pay a $750,000 fee to join the club. And then your annual dues are typically more than $120,000 a year, depending on the size of your home. So it is a very exclusive club. The memberships here include very high profile billionaires and celebrities. And the average price of a home is well over $15 million. And the exclusivity of having the private ski resort is just an unbelievable amenity. And then in the summertime, there's lots of summer activities. So it's very busy here in the summer, as well as throughout the winter from Thanksgiving until about the end of April. Here you can see the skiable acres compared to all the biggest ski resorts around the United States. The Big Sky Ski Resort is 5,800 acres, and the Yellowstone Club Ski Resort is 3,400 acres. So combined, it's the largest ski area in North America. If you have a Yellowstone Club membership, you can ski both in the same day. This is a great podcast. I would suggest that you check it out. It's from Sam Byrne, the owner of Cross Harbor Capital Partners. So he's technically the owner of the Yellowstone Club. Cross Harbor, in 32 years of business, has done more than $34 billion of real estate value transactions. They have more than $10 billion under management. And again, they have had a ton of success up in Big Sky. Discovery Land Company, I'd suggest you check out their website. They operate some of the most amazing and exclusive clubs around the world. And so they are the operator of the Yellowstone Club. Kind of like you have a flag like One&Only or Montage who helps put in guidelines and operate the hotel. This is the operator for the club. And here you can see that they've sold 19 of the 35 residences thus far for $644 million. We're on pace to sell out for $1.347 billion for all 35 residences. And again, the building 5 is expected to get delivered after the summer of 26. Building 7 is on track to get delivered at the end of 2026, beginning of 27. And building 6 is on track to be delivered at the end of the summer in 2027. So the total capitalization of the project, they're selling the homes for $1.347 billion, but they're building it for $1.105 billion. So you can see that we're raising $600 million to through the EB-5 program, and that $600 million loan is in the first position. The developer, again, is on track to complete the last building toward the end of 2027. So we would expect the developer to deliver that throughout the fall of 2027, and we would be hoping to repay the EB-5 loan at some point in the beginning of 2028. Here you can see how we're going to repay the EB-5 loan. So there's $1.347 billion in residence sales expected, and about $260 million of that are buyer deposits that will be used on construction. So the buyers put 40% down when they initially purchase a home. That's a non-refundable deposit that they lose if they were to back out of the contract. So they put 40% down, and then the other 60% is for the home is paid upon delivery. So of those 40% buyer deposits, about $260 million will be used on the construction of the project. $80 million will be the realtor commissions and closing costs involved in the project. So that leaves us with just over $1 billion of net sales to pay off the $600 million loan, which would mean that we would have to reduce the pricing by nearly 60%, or by about $400 million before any of the EB-5 investors would be impacted on any of their $800,000 investment. And here you can see the job creation. The construction is going extremely well at the site. As of March, we had created 4,453.4 jobs in the project. We have been averaging about 256 jobs per month created. So right now it's the middle of April 2025. We should be receiving another update here in the next week or two, which will likely take us close to 4,700 jobs, as we're creating around 256 a month. At the current trajectory, we would expect to complete all 7,500 jobs needed for all 750 investors by next March of 2026. And then in the end of the project, we'll create over 9,500 jobs, which is over 2,000 extra jobs available on top of the 7,500 needed for all the EB-5 investors. Here's some articles about the project and about Big Sky and about the Yellowstone Club, and some amazing photos from the area. That's at the golf club at Yellowstone Club, which is an amazing golf club. That's at the Rainbow Lodge, which is a beautiful venue, and from the pro shop at the golf club. We always have an I-526E denial guarantee in all our projects, a construction completion guarantee. This project is also backed by YC Holdings LLC, which is a fund of assets in Yellowstone Club and Big Sky that the developer owns, that has more than $740 million of assets in it. So that's backing this project and backing the I-526E denial guarantee. Another big point is that the developer is investing 45.7% of the money into this project in the form of equity, and the EB-5 loan is only 54.3% loan to cost. So we're a very safe, low leverage, first position loan, which we already have locked in that first position when we surpassed $400 million, which we did back in early March of 2025. And at this point, we are just filling out the rest of the spots for this project. If you have any more questions on the Yellowstone Club Phase 2 project, please reach out to us at EB-5 United. Thank you.